you have a coin by chance? One of these should work, thanks. You're rolling, right? See, this is the part. This is the part that people use. Right here. When everyone's getting situated and I look nervous. The Ironman is a triathlon. You swim 2.4 miles, you bike 112 miles, and then you run 26.2 miles.
3, 2, 1, go!
When I first experienced my parents do their first Ironman, it just felt like something that was really hard, that took a really long time, but I didn't really understand like the intricacies or the actual dedication that it took. My vivid memory from that experience was standing on the rock wall with all the other families, gun fired, as U2's A Beautiful Day was playing, and all the people on the beach just stampeded into the water at the same time.
Oh no, she's swimming into a pile of people.
I will never forget that day. It was the coolest feeling ever.
Remember?
People sign up for an Ironman for different reasons. Some do it to get in the best shape of their life. Some want to test the boundaries of what they're physically and mentally capable of.
For me though, I wanted to do it because my little sister did one.
From the College-esque family, dressed in purple pants, Krista College-esque.
That struck a special chord. I can't let her beat me. I remember my dad posted a picture of her when she finished, and he said, "My little girl's an Ironman." And I was like, what about your little boy?
Should we go see what your brother's doing? Oh, there he is.
I can't have my little sister
Right.
do something
Yeah,
that
of
I
course.
can't do.
No, of course.
It was my mom, my dad, and my sister that all had become Ironmen. I was the only one, and I knew behind closed doors they were making fun of me for it.
You're having a hard time, aren't you, Cody?
Everyone was saying Cody was the one person that didn't do it. He's the outcast in the family. He's the one guy that's not an Ironman.
Did they say that?
No, they were actually very supportive, and they've always been extremely loving. In fact, they signed up for another Ironman. They're gonna do it with me. And we decided that that one was gonna be Ironman Australia, which was in exactly 8 months. At the start of training, I was laser focused. I'm an all-in kind of guy. Whenever I do something, I'd like to try to do it 100%. So I found a coach, and for the first 12 weeks, I was sober and very consistent.
Tomorrow is an hour-long swim, 10 300s, and a 40-minute run.
Whatever the calendar said, I did. Every week, the workouts would get longer and harder, and I would do them all, and I would get stronger. I was not fucking around.
This is the first sound I heard most mornings. The sweet of the Nespresso machine. Don't talk to me before I've had my coffee. Am I right?
I remember like instantly I was just a little bit like stressed out.
Because it was like, why are you adding this to the bulk of work we already have with the wedding and the honeymoon?
I was just like, could you do it maybe like a little later or like a little closer or like anything?
So day by day, I would show up for these workouts, and in my head, I would hear my coach's voice screaming at me.
Let's go! Ah! Ah! All right, I'm done. Ah! Sorry, I had one residual scream left.
Up until this point, I only really ever had experience with running. I knew nothing about swimming or biking. So the beginning was like a puzzle, just piece by piece, figuring out, what gear I needed and how to use it. And swimming in the pool kind of came the most natural to me, but the scariest part about the beginning of training was waking up at 5 a.m. to swim in the ocean. The most annoying part definitely was the bike. Biking alone is the most intimidating thing ever. There's so much gear.
It took me like an hour to put the cleats on the shoes.
It is hard.
Did you see Cody's new bike? Cody can ride it without training wheels now,
Oh my
Fucking taint hurts.
Oh fuck!
Almost got it.
Where's the kickstand on this thing, huh? Where's the kickstand? Nothing felt like what it actually looked like to just show up every day and train for something, because it's not that glamorous. And it's not in slow-mo. It's in normal mo, And I just thought like no one showed the actual process, so like let's show it all 8 months. Welcome to Cody Trains. This is not a channel about model trains, of just training for something like this and how it affects your life and the ups and downs that you go through, because it's not linear like this, it's like this. Let's go for a ride, come on. The sunglasses are on. Right when I started training, I found this hat in my place, and I don't know where it came from. It wasn't mine. It said, "Energy is everything" on it. And I thought that was the stupidest catchphrase. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. And then I would put it on, and I would run farther and bike faster than I had ever done it before. It was almost like it gave me superpowers. And so eventually it was like my favorite workout hat. I couldn't do a workout without it. And if I didn't have it, I'd be like upset.
Energy is everything. Let's get it.
It just means everything to me now. Energy is everything. So November comes and I'm feeling the best I've ever felt. I'm running, biking, and swimming farther and faster than I ever have in my entire life. I'm running 8-minute miles consistently, swimming hundreds on the 130, closing in on like 190 average watts on a long ride. My bachelor party comes and 16 of my best friends fly into Austin. We surf perfect artificial waves that last like 10 seconds each, and I'm packed in the barrel. And then I get hit by the lip, and I land on the concrete with my legs over my head.
Icing my back. It really hurts. Makes me sad.
So I was out for 1 month and 5 days. This was going from the best shape of my life, the hardest I've ever trained, to all of a sudden, that goes away.
I'm a mess. Why does it always happen like this? When it rains, it pours, you know?
I feel like I'm just losing everything that I've worked for, and it is so frustrating. In December, I had signed up for a marathon. I picked that marathon as a nice little checkpoint in training, and I couldn't do it because of this. Fuck, I really wish that I could be running this. You know, my whole family did that too. And I was on the sidelines knowing that my name was in the contestants list, but I did not finish because I couldn't start it. It sucked.
That happened for a reason, and I think luckily it happened early enough, and I think it showed him that he just needs to be a little bit more careful. He was working really hard for something, and I didn't want him to fuck that up just because he wanted to
Get barreled?
Yeah.
One of the things that I realized I could do pretty early on was Stairmaster. I was like, okay, this is my new thing. I'm a Stairmaster guy.
What's up, Stairmaster fam? I'm excited to tell you that today I did 40 minutes on the Stairmaster. 1, 2, 3. We ascend together. We ascend together. It's a cult.
So then, late December comes around, my MRI comes back clean. Literally, it switched in a matter of a couple of days. I start feeling better, so I start training super hard again.
Fuck yeah, that was the first like really hard workout I've done in a month. Holy shit. I'm back! Let's go!
And my numbers start going back up. At this point in training, I was biking 80, 90, 100 miles on the weekend, and then followed by a run. The problem with that is it takes a huge toll on your body, and I wasn't healing as fast as I was breaking myself down.
Inside of my knee really hurts. Like right here. It keeps like popping. Oh fuck, that feels awful.
You just saw that like you're not invincible.
Yeah.
And you need to be careful with your body if you're gonna train.
Yeah.
And do this incredible thing.
Training for something like this is also kind of like a balancing act. I had goals, I still had things I wanted to do, and so it's like, how much of your real life can you sacrifice?
Our wedding and our honeymoon is not gonna be about you like training for an Ironman at all. Like we're gonna have fun, you're gonna have a good time at the wedding. You're not gonna like be eating don't eat off the floor on the camera.
One thing that I had been working on for a long time was DJing. And I can't really say that without people rolling their eyes, but it's true. I got asked by Dylan Francis to open up for him in Vegas, and this was like 3 weeks before the race, and I was like, this is pretty stupid to say yes to this after all I've sacrificed. But I couldn't say no. By doing it, I got sick, and that took me out for another week, and it was one of those things that it made everything harder.
We could have skipped that weekend, and you would have been super dialed in for the remaining month of Ironman. Would you take that back if you could?
No. This fucking cold is just so stubborn. I finally thought I was getting better.
Damn, did I just train for 8 months just to throw it all away? Like, what did I just do? Did I fuck this up?
I just hope that he's gonna be ready for all of it.
So, flew to Sydney, 15-hour flight, took an hour and a half flight to Port Macquarie, I still don't really know how to say that.
Going to the start, so it's time to go.
How you feeling?
Good, nervous, excited. It's my boy.
Yeah.
He's gonna be an Ironman. Wait, knock on wood. Jeez.
One of the things about Ironman is that a lot of people don't finish. Because the race is so long, there's just so many things that can happen. Like, I got kicked in the face, like early in the swim, within 5 minutes of starting.
Hi, Cody!
First check-in, done the swim. It's pretty good.
There was tons of people on the side of the road with horrible bike flats or people that had crashed. That was one of the things that was scary about it is I've trained for 8 months, I've come all this way. What if I crash? Or what if I cramp so bad on the run I can't keep going?
I'm about 16 miles into the bike. It's good, but the roads are so bumpy.
You got it this time, I know you do. Careful with the gravel, Code, because it's a little slipperier, okay?
One of the things that surprised me is how bad I felt. And I had never felt that bad during training. But when I got to the run, it was like, oh my God, this is the worst thing I've ever done in my life.
How you doing, man?
I'm struggling. This is so hard. It's like the only thing I've drank for the whole run is Coke. It's probably why I don't feel good.
My parents kept telling me the aid stations definitely have some Coke. Some Coca-Cola, not some cocaine. Although that would have definitely helped.
11 miles in. Dying. Just taking it step by step. Like walk for 5 minutes, then run for 5 minutes.
I'll see you at the finish line.
I just remember feeling the utmost relief. I was begging for it to be over for hours and hours, and then it finally was over, and it was like, I can stop. Everything came to a head. I finally finished this thing that seemed impossible. Not only that, but my parents did it with me. I was there for my parents when they were doing this, and then they were there doing it with me and supporting me for the first time that I was doing it. And now I hope to be that to someone in the future as well. Because it's a pretty self-serving thing to do. It's a lot about me, what's my goal. So it's just important to remember to give back and to set that example in the future.
Go, Code, do it.
Yeah.
Hey, we're all watching the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you.
It was almost poetic. I've said before how it's burned into my mind the first time my dad did it. The gun fired and U2's A Beautiful Day was playing. And then on his last one, as he starts running towards the finish line, U2's A Beautiful Day starts playing. And we go and we hug. If I just go to my dad's Instagram here, that's my boy. Cody is now an Ironman. Do you have a coin by chance?